Hello and welcome to the Student Council Podcast, an educational advice show made for students and by students, where I have just finished my first year of college. It's a big deal. It's a big, exciting thing that's happened. I think it's really cool and interesting that almost exactly a year after I started this podcast and released it to the world, I ended my first year of college. It's funny how full circle these things have gone and how much I think I've grown and learned within the year. I started this show, one, as a means of talking to students at the colleges that I was considering attending. I was not locked in on U of M by the time I interviewed Rashika or Finn or anybody else, and you can definitely hear that in those early episodes. I'm really, really curious about the student experiences and what my life might be like at each of those respective colleges. Still now, I love to hear about what everybody's schools and college experiences are like, but I definitely remember in those early days starting this podcast as a vessel to have a means of connecting with students at different colleges. It's funny to see where I am now. Rashika and I are coworkers, which is really cool, and we kind of tell that story a decent amount of how we met and where we are today, where I was considering going to Ross, and then I talked to her on StuCo, and then I got more involved in campus tours, and between those points, I went to Ross, of course, and not only that, but I became a BBA ambassador, the same position that Rashika had recently started when we started talking. Even with Finn, I love still chatting with Finn whenever I get the chance to, and I'm hoping to bring a club similar to the Blackout to the University of Michigan in some capacity. I think that's a really fun organization. There's not necessarily a club like that on U of M, although there are some really cool creative student clubs on campus. But I would love to bring a late night style interview and fun, exciting live show to school. I'm on here today really to just say thank you, first of all, to anybody who's listened to the show. It's been a joy to make this thing, and I love it when people listen to it. And if they can pull some wisdom or advice from the people that I talk to, that's phenomenal, because I know that I pull a lot of wisdom and advice and quotes from everybody that I've interviewed on this show, and it's been truly a joy to talk. If you have been anybody who's been on the podcast before as an interviewee, thank you so much. It's been a joy to talk to each and every single person, and I love the connections that I've gotten to make through StuCo, as I said, with Rashika and Finn, especially in those early days when I was interviewing a lot of people I hadn't met that much before. It's going to be a quick episode today. I just kind of wanted to say that. Thank you. It's been a great year, and there is more to come this summer. I want to give an update on what the summer looks like for StuCo. I want to keep going weekly uploads. There might be a couple more of me on the mic alone when I don't have a guest or when things just don't work out timing-wise. That's when you have this lovely person talking to himself alone in his room, but I'm also talking to you. It's a conversation, right? That was the time for you to respond. Anyways, I'm really excited to do a couple full in-depth first-year reflection episodes with my friends from school. I have so many really cool friends and people at UMich that I know doing really amazing things that I continue to want to talk to them. So there'll be some fun episodes coming out there. We're going to have a roommate recap episode between myself and my roommate, which I'm really hyped about. I think that that'll be a really fun one to have that conversation. And then a couple other really cool episodes down the pipe as well. I'll be emailing a few professors from this semester that I would love to talk to who can just bring such a really, really cool insight and conversation to the podcast. I would love to interview them. It's always fun now when I sit down in a class and I'm like, oh yeah, this would be a really good StuCo interview, and I've got to talk to this person at some point. It's like my version of office hours, and I still like going to office hours when I can, because those are wickedly beneficial. I am rambling far too much. A couple other notes I wanted to say. I've never gave a dorm room essential on the show, but I will give one now. It is a Wuzoo fan. They're about $40 from Costco or those big box stores. Really good price. Wuzoo fan, you need a good fan, and Wuzoo provides great circulation and great things all around. This sounds really sponsored. It's honestly not. I just loved this fan, and I never turned it off basically the entire year, unless I had to record an episode in the room. But that thing was chugging along from move in to move out. It was one of the very last things I packed, so I wholeheartedly recommend a good fan. Outside of that, I wanted to give an ultimate tip and then talk a hot second about pass it on, because I have a fun thing to say about that. Ultimate tip for going into college is that there isn't one. There is, but that every person's experience is going to be unique, and that there is not necessarily a one-size-fits-all way to do school. I still love the ultimate tip question. I still love hearing people's big pieces of advice, and my bigger pieces of advice would be open to meeting new people, leave your dorm room doors open when you move in, and honestly, throughout the year. Don't close them after a week. If you can, just have them open. Engage with the people on your floor, and talk and try and build a community at campus, because it's truly one of the best elements of college is just getting to build a community. And I also just think that above all is an element of engagement that is really important. So my ultimate tip would actually be to be engaged in school, and that tip can look very different among people. If you want to start working at your school in an admissions job or even at a front desk job where you get paid to basically do homework and answer like a question, go do that. If engagement to you looks like being a tour guide or an ambassador like you did for me, I wholeheartedly recommend trying that out. If engagement to you is, I just want to find my friends and have some fun experiences, then do that. And even if engagement is just, I want to focus on my studies and learn a lot, that can be okay. I would say to yourself, define what engagement looks like for you at college, and also be open to going outside of that engagement definition. Go outside of that comfort zone just a little bit. If you want to focus more on academics, great. But be sure to be engaged in other ways at the school. Be sure to be engaged with your student peers. Be sure to be engaged in what's happening on campus. But overall, engagement at school is key, and it's truly what has been the most fulfilling thing here, is I've been able to be engaged with coworkers and staff at the school. I've been able to be engaged with my friends and my peers. I also get to be engaged in the student council, and I found that StuCo, especially right after I moved in, was a really nice sense of familiarity that I needed when I came to college. So I'd encourage that too. When you're moving in, have something familiar. Moving to college is going to be very new and a very different experience, and I would just recommend having something familiar to hold on to. For my pass it ons, go listen to other episodes of this show. It's kind of a sneaky little plug I put in there, but when I was thinking of pass it on quotes, all I was thinking of was advice that I got from other people who I interviewed. There is over 25 episodes now of the Student Council, which is absolutely wild, and if I'm on track, I'll be at like over 50 by the end of this year, which is incredible and incredibly bonkers, but exciting. So come along with me, keep hanging out. I would love to continue to reach out to new people. If you have somebody, if you know a high school senior right now, and you think they might need this or enjoy this, share it along with them. I would greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, thank you for sticking around until this point. College is done, but it is still just the beginning. There are 3 years left of my college career, and then we'll see where I go from there. And there's a summer in front of me, which I'm very excited about. Thank you very much. I wish you the best of luck and the best of times in all of your educational endeavors. Be engaged. This is Carter Dvorak signing off. Until next time, bye. Oh yeah, the student council's adjourned. My bad. Bye.